Okay, I'm back. I put my foundation on. This is not a makeup channel, but if you're curious, I kind of mixed my e.l.f. With my Airspun. Do this backwards. There we go. Airspun loose powder. I mix them together, and it gives a pretty good overall cover because I have all that brown spots that you saw and the red that you saw. And I didn't put it on real thick. I got discoloration down here too. We're going to keep it simple today. And be right back after my eyes. Ta-da! I'm back. Okay. Again, not a makeup channel, but I've always wanted to do this. e.l.f. palette. I don't know what it's called because the sticker's off the back, but it's your basic browns. Goes from dark to light. My favorite one fell out, and I don't know where it went. And then that's on my eyes. And then my mascara is like the most expensive piece of makeup I have. It's from Unique, if you've heard of it. Hopefully I'll learn how to excuse me, hopefully I'll learn how to make links, and I can put some links down there to the different things that I did. And then if you haven't, and I don't know why you wouldn't have heard about the Wish app, I ordered these different colors. I ordered it's a matte, it dries, and then it stays. So yeah, I like them. They're not too terrible, especially for the price. And so now that I'm, hold on, and no, I just get out of bed and brush my hair, and this is what I get. Love the haircut, right? Actually, almost time for a trim. Ugh, working with the camera backwards, it's not the same. Maybe I'll get used to that. Okay, so back to what I was saying. Okay, I have had this channel for years. I wanted to write all this down. So if it seems choppy when I edit it, I apologize. I'm learning and it will get better. Mondays, I want to do a touch-up on, I'll give you weigh-in numbers, and I might even let you know what I've eaten that week. I think earlier I started to say about 3 years ago I lost 110 pounds. I had done a lot of research about anti-inflammatory conditions, and because that's what I have, is a bunch of anti-inflammatory conditions. And sorry for the I have a lot of anti-inflammatory conditions, and so I did research on foods to help me with that. Now, I was diagnosed with IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, when I was 13. Started gaining weight when I was 13. Up until then, people made fun of me because I was too skinny and had big buck teeth. And no, I haven't had braces. I guess screw into my teeth. I don't know. I have, let's see, I was kicked, I was discharged from the Marine Corps when I was 17. So there's 3 phases in the Marine Corps boot camp, and I made it to stage 3, but I didn't get to go to the field because at that point they took me out and put me in the recycle platoon in hopes to fix my problem feet, and discovered that I had problem feet and arthritis. I'm fairly double jointed in almost every joint. And of course then there starts the vicious cycle. Go get a job. So I'm 17. I need a job. I need a car. So what does a 17-year-old do? Or what does a 17-year-old think that they're going to be able to get hired for? So I started working at Harp's Pet Store here in Evansville, Indiana, and I also worked at Dairy Queen for a few years. Dairy Queen was my first job, and I tried going to college. So during that time frame, I also suffered a traumatic incident. So with childhood incidences that were similar, here goes to my best recollection, my list. Okay, it seems like the world has this depression and anxiety. That's severe anxiety and depression. I have PTSD from the traumatic incidences, and even though they were years ago, out of nowhere one will pop up, and then poor husband gets to deal with it. Anyways, then for years they told me I was fat and stressed, and I wasn't this big, but they told me I was fat and stressed, go home every time I'd go to the hospital or the doctor. They never really listened to me or took me seriously. And then my husband had taken me to the hospital a couple times saying that I had had a seizure. And they said, no, I didn't. Whatever test they did, no, I didn't. There was nothing showing that I had had a seizure. And this is stuff that had gone on for years. Okay. So, the pain from the fibromyalgia kind of kept under control. But some days it was very hard, and concentration through the pain is very hard. And then so we got the fibromyalgia. March, St. Patrick's Day in 2013, I went to use my phone, and I couldn't use my phone, and my husband was like, we got to get you to the hospital, because I could tell him my mom's phone number, which I was trying to get a hold of her to let her know that we were leaving. Anyways, I can't remember the straight details. I woke up in ICU. So from home to the hospital, I remember little bits and pieces, but I do not remember getting into the hospital, let alone I was told room 1, then to a second room, and then to a third room, and then I woke up in ICU. MRIs showed anomalies in my head, and the neurologist said, actually it was a neurosurgeon, said I had something strange or weird. I had something weird in my head. And to kind of cut that down, he got excited and wanted to cut it out, like, quote unquote. He was laying me on the table, trying to get me in a position because it's close to the main vein or artery or blood vessel of some sort, and the danger. And he goes, "Oh, we'll figure it out once you're under, and let's go make this appointment. I can't wait to get in there and scoop it out like ice cream." Which my husband was not ecstatic about. He'd already been down this route once with his parents, which is why when he came downstairs and I told him I couldn't use my phone, but I could tell him a telephone number, he knew something was not right. So he was quick on the ball to get me to the hospital. Long story short, not, or it will be, we ended up, his father footed the bill to take me to Duke University in North Carolina. They did a needle biopsy, which was inconclusive. A year later, after doing one-day trips from Evansville, Indiana to Durham, North Carolina, very painful on my legs, my arthritis, my fibromyalgia, sitting in that one position, not being able to move around too much or stretch or lay down. So I asked my local neurologist if there was somebody closer he would recommend. And he recommended IU. So we went to Bloomington. And I think it was a Methodist hospital that actually did the surgery. They actually cut my skull open and took, like he said, a sugar cube size out. And that came up with primary CNS vasculitis. Now, it's supposed to be very rare. Then I developed gout, and I'm at the beginning stages. Hopefully I can diet control it, but beginning stages of stage 3 kidney disease. The doctor's just keeping a really close eye on everything. I see a rheumatologist locally for that. My neurologist says that I need the university doctors to help me with my head, because I'll get an MRI and what was there isn't. But then there's a new place for it. So it seems to be that's where my vasculitis attacks the most, is in my head. So they got to try to keep the inflammation down. I've had one stroke. So I haven't worked since November 2015. I have days where my words don't work at all, speech, memory lapses, and super fatigue. Of course, every medication, I think 13 of them, all say can cause drowsiness. And my psychiatrist is getting ready to try something new. So he's got to wean me off of, I think, the doxepin that I'm on now. And then I don't know what he's going to try in replacement of that. And so that's my introduction to me. I gained back, obviously, most of my weight. Like I said, I had 328, but I'm not got that last 20 pounds yet. I hope to lose an average of 10 pounds a month. I hope to get my budget, my money under control. And my therapist says that I need to keep up with my gardening and plants. But when you're trying for disability, they say if you're caught doing anything, then they could deny you. So just as an introduction, I have multiple health issues that keep me from working or working for long periods of time, which is why the bedroom gets to be the collect all, and then I try to work through the piles. And I keep the rest of the house baby safe, and I have to, like I said earlier, find a safe place for the medicine. And for some reason I collect all those medicine bottles because I keep thinking I can use them in some way. We'll see. So Mondays will be, I won't go over my health issues anymore unless something major comes up. But Mondays, I hope to upload self-improvement things, either house organization, bill organization, because I am using Dave Ramsey. If you haven't heard of him, check it out. I'll leave a link down below for his channel. But he is excellent, and his plan works. It may seem backwards, but his plan works. And then I'm actually started it in 2004, and I will cover all that later because I wanted to keep these videos at 15 or less. So welcome to the start of the Lori Brandt YouTube channel, which will cover organization, self-improvement, and my hobby, which is plants. So Wednesdays will probably have something to do with plants, either repotting or I hope to get my husband to build me a makeshift greenhouse. That you can. I looked it up online, and there's a YouTube video that had an excellent, cheap, inexpensive greenhouse that basically to use for starting my seeds before I have to start them in the ground. And I hope that we can grow together, and I hope to see you. So like and subscribe, and hit the notification, the little bell, and then you'll be notified when I upload new videos. Again, it will not be just talking about my health. I will try to answer questions. If you have any questions, you can put them down there. I'll do my best to answer. And as you can see from the video, I'm already having a day where only half my face is holding up. Oh well. God bless you, and have a good day.